What it do? What it do? You now tune into another episode of NFL matchups, fresh off of week one. What's going on, my people? Let me say what's up to the people in the chat. What's going on, Anthony Balton? What's going on, Angel Diaz? My man Thomas. What's going on, Mr. Shelton? What's going on with you? My man BBO. What's good with you? What's going on, Thomas? What's going on, BBO? How y'all like week one, man?
I really don't want to say anything because I didn't really like week one. I mean, I'm glad football is back, but I didn't really like week one, and I can't show face today, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to support and talk some shit, but I can't show my face today.
Hey man.
And it's good. It's good because nobody want to see you. But the Browns won. BBO Parcells is in the building to let y'all know that the Browns is back, baby. The Browns is back, baby.
BBO Parson. Yeah, man. I mean, like I told y'all last week, I would be surprised if Arizona would score over 10 points. And I said I would be surprised if Arizona scored over 10 points, and they scored 16 out. So I was surprised with that, but I knew Washington was going to win. Now it wasn't the win that I expected, but nevertheless it was a win. I don't care how you get it as long as they get the W, but I was expecting them to go in there and beat the Arizona Cardinals up. But I mean, there's some things we still got to improve on. But like I said, nevertheless, it was a win, and I'm happy for the squad to get a win, especially in front of a sold out crowd. But it was some surprise this week. It was definitely some surprise. I was not expecting the Rams to beat up on Seattle the way they did.
You were surprised. What do you think I was? I was extra surprised.
Oh man, they got battered and bruised in that game.
Disgusting.
Without their number one star at that, they didn't even have their number one star. What's going on? Who's this?
He's a troll. Okay. Leslie Lambert. He's a troll.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not. He's not. He's a Giants fan. He has a paper bag too. Well, at least he should.
Man, the Giants went out there and laid an egg. Literally, they laid an egg. No, they got beat so bad. I looked at the score at halftime, and I was like, okay, they're gonna come back and they're gonna put some points on the board. Man, they didn't even need Dak Prescott in that damn game. Dak Prescott, I think he only had 8 fantasy points. They ran the hell off the ball.
It was running and defense.
And the defense scored, what, 2 touchdowns?
Jesus.
I was like, oh my God. I said, dog, these daggone and these Giants, I was expecting them to do better than what they did. And I didn't pick them to win the game, but I was expecting them to do much better than what they did. They went out there and literally laid their egg. If they don't improve their squad this week, they got Arizona. This is a team that they got to go out there and they got to beat Arizona up for the ass whooping that they took.
If they don't beat Arizona, they may not get a win this year.
They don't beat Arizona, they might not get a win this year. They might not have a coach by the end of next week. What's going on, Quick? What's going on, Leslie?
They might beat the Giants in week 4. I mean, beat the Seahawks in week 4. We suck.
No, I'm not even gonna say they're gonna beat y'all, dog. The way they went out there and laid the egg against Dallas, I'm not saying they're gonna beat y'all. Like I said, if they don't beat Arizona, dog, they might not get a win this year. They really might not get a win. I was not, like I said, I picked Dallas to win in my pick 'em, but I was not expecting Dallas to beat up on the Giants the way they did. I was expecting Giants to make it a little more of a competitive game. That was the worst Sunday night football I've seen in a long time. That was the worst Sunday night football I've seen in a while. Even when you got 2 bad teams on the field, it still looked good. It's quick. We said, "What's good, Tom?" And she laughed like,
Let's get quickly.
I mean, even when you got two bad teams on primetime games, they still put up a better fight than that. That
Yeah,
was horrible.
that was
So
disgusting. And at
I mean,
home too, home opener.
yeah, a home opener.
How you get smacked at home in your home opener? Oh wait, my team got smacked at home too.
I mean, they could at least put up a field goal or something. They ain't. I don't even think they got close enough to put up a field goal.
Well,
Did
the
they
first
ever?
drive of the game when they blocked the field goal for the
Oh
touchdown.
yeah, they did. They blocked it and ran it back for a touchdown. Yep.
Yep, and that was it. It all
Dang.
went downhill after that.
Yeah. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a tough season for the Giants if they don't make it past Arizona. It's gonna be a long, tough season, and they're gonna have to reevaluate a lot of stuff come the rest of the year. They're gonna have to reevaluate a lot of stuff. But
But Deshaun Watson looked like he was in mid-season form. I'll tell you that.
I don't know
I mean,
what you're talking about because he didn't really play all that great.
Did
who
y'all
that?
win?
What?
I don't think y'all won, man. What are you talking about?
Y'all won, but Watson didn't really play all that great. It was the defense.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Yeah, it was mainly the defense. I mean, Watson, he ran the ball. He didn't throw the ball well at all. He ran. He took the ball out of Chubb's hand and ran it more. I think he ran the ball just as much as Chubb's did. But I mean,
they could have ran it up even more. That Ford fumble, they were driving.
he got the job done. He did what he had to do to win the game. But that's not going to last. Going through the season, that's not going to last at all.
Yeah. Can we can I petition to not speak about the San Francisco 49ers in this live?
I mean, San Francisco did what they were supposed to do. They beat up on the team. That's why I didn't put them in the pick 'em because I knew San Francisco was going to beat up Pittsburgh. Especially they got Nick Bosa back. I knew they were going to beat up on Pittsburgh. So San Francisco did exactly what they were supposed to do. That they did what we should have did to Arizona. That's what they did. They did exactly what we should have did to Arizona. But I mean, like I said, we got the W. I'm not mad at the W. I'm just mad at how it came. It should have been a wider margin than what it was. But nevertheless, like I said, we're not sitting up here looking like Thomas or the Giants fan and nothing like that. We're not looking like that. We got the W. So I mean, so far right now, the only team in our division with a loss is the Giants. The Eagles got a great win. Dallas definitely got a great win. We got a good win. I ain't gonna say it's a great win. We got a good win. It's still growing pains with the quarterback, but he didn't look real bad. It just he made a couple of mistakes that I know when he went back and looked at the film, he was like, okay, I can't do that because he was running with the ball in one hand and the guy came and knocked it out and they was able to take it in for a touchdown. And then he threw a bad well, it wasn't a bad interception. It tipped off the Logan Thomas hand, and it tipped off the Logan Thomas hand, and they caught it and got the interception. But other than that, he played well. Other than that, he just had those two bad mistakes. But what I will say is he has the mental of a quarterback that I need on my team. Somebody that'll make a mistake and then go out there and forget about that mistake because he kept slinging that ball. He was not gun shy at all. He was like, nah, okay, I made a mistake. I'm not going to do that again. So he kept throwing the ball. So I mean, I can't be mad at that. And like I said, he got the win because he got down there. And he used his legs and his rush for the touchdown was the game winning touchdown that we needed. So I give him that. He definitely got the mental to be a starting quarterback. He just got to clean up a little bit of mistakes, and he should be fine. He said, "It's just one loss, Thomas. Y'all good." But But I mean, Browns did what I expected them to do. I said the Browns was going to win. I said it was going to be the difference in the defense. I said the Browns offense is just as talented as Cincinnati offense. Cincinnati, I mean, they got 3 receivers and they got a running back. They got a quarterback, but I didn't know how Joe Burrows was going to look Then though he came off that injury that he had in training camp, and he didn't look good at all. He didn't look good. He looked like he was scared and nervous, and every time he stepped back, he always had somebody in his face. He wasn't comfortable back there at all. They still haven't fixed that issue with the offensive line for Cincinnati. That's been the issue for them for the last 2 years. Now it's going on 3 years. That's been an issue for them. They just can't fix the offensive line. They rather fix all of the weapons and improve weapons around them, but they're not addressing the offensive line.
You got to keep in mind though, Free, that we 5-1 since Joe Burrow's been in the league. I mean, we just happen to own him. He's gonna come back strong.
I mean, yeah, I understand y'all own him, but I'm going by what I've been seeing for the past 3 years with the Cincinnati Bengals. This man been taking sack after sack after sack. Like he went to the Super Bowl after he just got finished beating the record for the most sacks in a AFC Championship game in the playoffs. He took 10 sacks in that game, and he still made it to the Super Bowl. And then went to the Super Bowl and took 9 sacks in the Super Bowl. So I mean, they horrible.
No, it's true. Their line is shaky, but you got to give credit to the Browns defense. Garrett is a beast. He was all over.
Orlando Brown Jr. was nowhere to be seen. They paid him all this money in free agency, and he just absolutely just disappeared. He's like the invisible man. What happened to him? They looking for him. 300-pound, $40 million man disappeared on him. I mean, jeez, I thought he was Houdini, man. Because really, like Free was just saying, the overall sentiment is that they're going to waste Joe Burrow's prime. Nobody can take all them sacks. I remember how John Elway was, when he had his legs, and then after a while he didn't have them. And I think that's going to end up happening to Joe Burrow. He can only take so many sacks. He can sack 50 times a year, man. That's like crazy, man. That's the most NFL. He's been sacked the most in NFL history since he entered the league. That's like
I don't know about that because Russell Wilson used to get sacked and lead getting sacked every year since he's been in the league with Seattle, because Seattle had a bad offensive line for years.
Yeah, but like BBO said, I think Burrows might be the most sacked quarterback since he's been in the league. He might be the most sacked quarterback.
Number two.
Salute to the panel. What's up, D Free? BBO Thomas.
What's good, bro?
I'm good, man. Yeah, this
dude that stole my mother's car, man. You got to watch him.
Hey, BBO, get out of here, man.
What's going on, Big Tex? But yeah, I just they got to fix that issue. They definitely got to fix that issue, because you cannot be taking those many sacks and expect your starting quarterback to make it through the year. That's one of the reasons why he has injuries that he had, because he's taking too many sacks. So I mean, I don't know. He didn't take a sack in the training camp. It was just he was by himself and his leg just gave out on him. But I mean, it could be from the wear and tear for him taking sacks previously.
Yeah, I don't know. They've done I feel like the Bengals have done their part. They went and got him a big time left tackle in Orlando Brown. I'm not going to say for certain because I don't really pay attention to Bengals, but I think they've been investing in the offensive line through the draft. I don't know, man. They've just always been ass when it came to the trenches. For these past couple of years, I've just always been seeing Burrow get lit up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they not rebuilt. They not putting the talent around the offensive line. They putting the talent in the on the field, but they're not putting the talent on the offensive line. They got receivers, they got a running back, they got a quarterback, they got a decent defense, but the offensive line is the problem. If they can fix the offensive line, Joe Burrow probably would be a lot better than what he is.
I mean, he's the best in the league, man. What else can you be?
I don't know about that, because it's a lot of good defensive line, and I think any good defensive line go up against Cincinnati's offensive line, they're going to have the same success y'all had. I've seen it time and time again. Yeah. Any good defensive line go against Cincinnati, they're going to have success against Joe Burrows. They're going to put him on the ground. They're gonna cause havoc in the backfield. They're not gonna have a good game. They might squeak out a win, but they're not gonna have a good game.
But D Free, that's really why we consider Joe Burrow to be with those elite guys. I mean, it's just the fact that what he took like 9 sacks in a playoff game and still pulled it out. That's just the type of shit Joe Burrow's been doing his whole career. These niggas have never been protecting him. He just always gets the job done.
I wouldn't even say that's the reason why I would put him as an elite guy. He just has the talent around him. He got 3 good receivers, and he got a good running back. You take away 2 of those receivers, Joe Burrow is not going to have the year he's been having. He's not going to have that year. So you can't say, okay, let me just put any wide receiver out there, and Joe Burrow is still going to win the game. I don't believe that. You got to give him the talent in order for him to win.
No, most definitely. Any quarterback needs some type of talent to be successful in this league. But when you get sacked 9 times, like D Free, that's just another level of I don't know what to say, will, toughness to just be able to pull that game out when these niggas are just top of you every play.
I think it just might have been the luck of the stars lined up for him that year, because I don't think you can get sacked 9 times in the playoffs and expect to win those games. That just might have been once in a lifetime that he got sacked 9 times and he still made it to the playoffs, because he turned around and ended up getting sacked 9 times again in the Super Bowl and they lost. So I just think it was just might have been the luck, the stars lined up for him, and they was able to overcome and make it to the Super Bowl. Because I don't care who you are. That, like I said, that's one out of 10 times. Because 9 times out of 10, you get sacked 9 times, you losing the game. I don't care who you are. You get sacked 9 times, you losing the game 9 times out of 10. What's going on, Savoy?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do agree, but yeah, and I agree, and that's why I give Burrow so much credit.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good
He a lot of
quarterback.
trash.
I'm not taking nothing from him. He's a good quarterback. I just don't think he got great weapons around him, because you take away those weapons and you give him the weapons that say, I'm trying to think. You give him the weapons that Houston got. I don't think he has the same success. I don't think he has the same.
Nah, because when Jamar Chase and T. Higgins took off, well, when they got Jamar Chase and then T. Higgins started to take off, that's when Burrow started to take off.
Right.
But that's what any. My bad. Go ahead.
No. Higgins was there his rookie with Burrow the first year. He just had the chemistry with Chase. On top of Chase being, as good as he is, he had that chemistry because they played together in LSU.
Right.
But Higgins is a monster. But Higgins, I think, contract is up after this year.
Yeah, his contract is up. They got to figure out if they're going to.
They got to make a decision.
Yeah, they got to figure out if they're going
to. They want to prioritize T, or do they want to prioritize Jamar? Because you can't pay. I don't think you can pay 2 big time wide receivers. Not after you done paid your quarterback, and then you got to think about what's his name, Huntley.
You got to think about him, and you got to think about Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon about to come up for a new contract too.
Yeah, so they got to make a decision, bro. Do you prioritize T or Jamar?
Yeah.
Running backs don't get paid unless they're like elite.
What's going on, A1?
What's good with it, y'all? My bad. I was busy as hell.
One like he just now waking up.
Nah, I'm sitting there giving my daughter something. She teething, so she got 6 teeth coming in right now. And then my son is asleep, so I ain't being too loud. He just shot me the link. I was like, I didn't know what the link was for.
Oh yeah, no, it was my football recap of week 1 and the recap of our Pick'em League. Speaking of the Pick'em League, the last 2 guys that came up here, Savoy and A1, right now they ranked number 1. They ended the week at 6-2. Me and 88 ended the week at 5-3. We tied for second. BBO and G5 ended the week at tied for third. They 4-4, and Thomas, Coach Joe, and T ended the week. They tied for 4th. They ended with 3-5.
Some bullshit.
Oh man. Anytime you talk
You know what's crazy? I
about
went
BBO,
2-1
that's
in
a
the
bad look.
spreads. I went
Hey,
2-1 in the
gonna say
spreads
that.
though.
A1 almost had a one loss week if it wasn't for the fact that the Jets ran that daggone punt back in overtime. They ran that punt back, and I was like, yes, because everybody had picked the
Man,
Jets except for you,
boy,
T, and Coach Joe. I think Coach Joe. I think UT and Coach Joe was the only ones that picked the Bills, and everybody else picked the Jets to
man,
win.
I got my money's worth on that game last night. That shit was game of the year thus far.
Yeah.
You lose your starting quarterback in the first series, and then you come back to win it against a
No,
quarterback like Josh Allen, bro.
no, that remind me of the game that New England had when daggone Tom Brady went down in week 1. I had him on my fantasy. I was like, "Are you serious?" I was sick. I was like, "Man, I lose my starting fantasy quarterback in week 1."
Well, that brought back Testaverde vibes because when Testaverde was on the Jets, they
Yeah,
were expected to have a big year, and Testaverde got hurt the first game of the season.
yeah. But so yeah, they lost. Well, with Rodgers, and they said all the reports came back negative. He did leave in a boot, but they saying it looked like it might just be a high ankle sprain, or he might have pulled something. But they said it's nothing torn or anything like that. It's nothing broken or torn. But it's either a high ankle sprain or he might have pulled something.
Nah,
But
you didn't. He's done.
they saying he's done.
Yeah, his Achilles.
Yeah, it's Achilles.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
but
over with.
Yeah, he tore an Achilles.
they
He's done
because
his
at
career.
first
His career.
during the game they said they did the MRI and everything
Yeah,
came
they
back
did
negative.
they did the X-ray to see if anything was broken, but they didn't
Oh,
do
okay.
MRI. Yeah, they didn't do MRI, but they
Oh, okay.
already knew because I think they heard it pop. Like you could tell it was like ACL or Achilles. So it's
Oh, okay.
Achilles.
Well,
He's probably done for career.
yeah, that's the end of his career. He's 39 years old. That's the end
It's
of his
tough to
career.
come back
I,
from
I
Achilles.
mean, but he was already riddled with injuries last year. He's 39, 40 years old. I mean, what were you expecting?
I mean,
What
it was a
shoot, what were they
freak
expecting,
accident.
really?
Hall of
But,
Fame quarterback with a Hall of Fame defense.
Yeah, but he's already talking shit. They're talking about he didn't like the blocking schemes, because they schemed. Their scheme was mostly like cut
Oh,
blocks,
you,
and he didn't like
I don't
that.
know. I don't know if y'all heard though, but Colin Kaepernick agent reached out to the Jets to see about his contract.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sent that to BBO D free.
yeah,
Yeah, but
Colin
they already
Kaepernick.
reached out. They're trying to get Brissett. They already
All he
reached out to
trying to
get
do,
Brissett.
man, is get some. He don't want to play football. He trying to be like a martyr or something, man. He's
Who?
Nah,
proving.
he's been trying to get in the league.
No,
Nobody
that's
want to give
cap.
him a chance.
No,
Nobody want
that's
to give him a
cap.
chance.
He had a chance
Nah,
in Denver.
I don't really think so, D
He
free.
had a chance in
I mean,
Denver.
you showing up you showing up to a job interview wearing some shit that says "fuck you" to your boss. I mean, come
And
on
he
now.
sued him free.
You-
How you gonna ask for a job from a place you just sued? Get out of here, man.
The
He's a
pace,
clown, man. I appreciate
the
what he
pace he
did, but
just
it's
what he
over.
did. You said
Yo, the
the pace he
Bengals
just did
just
what?
released Collins, the lineman. He's done. So somebody's gonna pick him up.
What you
Yeah.
say, free?
You said how you gonna show up to a job in the place he just did what?
He just sued him. You forgot he just sued and got money from the NFL. He's done, man. He sued him and got millions. You can't sue somebody for millions and think they're gonna give you a job, man. Kaepernick wants it all, man.
He sued the NFL. He ain't sued the team.
What do you think NFL?
The difference is the NFL paying for that. And the team not paying for it.
The NFL is all
Nah,
about
but the
the conglomerate.
NFL owners isn't the NFL really just made up of the NFL owners
No,
Pretty much.
no. It's made a,
and
it's the
they 32 teams?
it's the commissioner. They vote who they want the
They hired a
commissioner to be.
commissioner though, free.
Yeah,
They
they
hired him.
Yeah,
vote.
that's what I'm saying. Because
Listen,
the
listen what I'm
32
saying.
teams, they're essentially like a board, right? And they
No,
vote for who their commissioner is.
yeah,
Yeah.
they vote for who the commissioner is, but the commissioner is the NFL. It's not the teams. It's not the. I mean, the teams make
But,
up the NFL. They make up the NFL because without the NFL teams, you won't have an NFL. They make up the
but,
NFL, but they have
but
they have an office, which is the commissioner and everybody that's under him. They are the people that when the league gets sued, it's not the owners of the teams get sued. It's the league, the office. Like it's the same thing. Like Your NFL team, if if the Cleveland Browns get sued, the players on the Browns don't get sued. It's the owner of the Browns that gets sued. It's the same thing.
Mm.
Not the players.
Hold on, think of this, Free. This is the same league that's purposely making sure no one gets a higher contract than Deshaun Watson. We just seen 3 or 4 quarterbacks get paid, and they got nowhere near the $230 million that Deshaun Watson got. And that's because it's been purposeful by these NFL owners to make sure that they don't have that happen again. They're mad at Haslam and them for giving that deal out. What I'm telling you is this, man. The NFL is not going to hire somebody who just sued him, man. He just sued him and got millions.
It's not the NFL that's hiring him. It's the team. That's if he goes to a team and they say we want him as a quarterback, the NFL don't hire him.
You know what that's like, D Free. That's like me punching your son saying, "Oh yeah, that's not you, Free. That's your son." It's the same
No,
thing.
but you saying
Ass backwards analogy.
you said the NFL is not going to hire. The NFL is not hiring him. He's not applying for a job with the NFL. He is applying
But
to be
you don't.
a quarterback in the NFL, and that's what
But you don't think the NFL could apply some pressure from upstairs if they don't
no,
want Colin on
no,
nobody's team?
no, they can't. They can't.
You know how I know they can do that?
Nah, D
They made
Free,
a
because
billionaire owner.
these dudes they collude all the time, bro. And
No,
we don't might not have proof, but we know for a fact these billionaires are colluding.
no, you cannot. You
Look what y'all
cannot.
did to Daniel
If
Snyder.
he
What did Daniel
passed
Snyder do to
all
lose his team?
if he passed all medical tests and all and everything that they look for as a NFL player, he passed all those tests. They cannot stop him from being in the league. They can't stop him from being in the league. Now that way, he does have a lawsuit because he didn't do nothing wrong to be in the league. He didn't do anything wrong.
He
Because
did do something wrong.
no, he did
He
not.
didn't follow the rules, man.
He did not. He did not. He didn't do nothing wrong. What rule? What rule is it that it said you have to stand for the national anthem? There is no rule.
Come on, Free.
There is no rule. That
You a
man don't
doggone
have to
Army
stand.
veteran. What are you talking about?
You do not have to stand for the national anthem. I don't stand for the national anthem. I mean, I'm an Army vet. I don't stand for the national anthem.
Oh, you don't? Why not? Why not?
Hey,
Because
D Free, don't forget you gotta tell him he gotta put his hand over his heart too. Don't forget.
Yeah, I don't believe everything that they say in the national anthem, so I don't stand for it. What are you
But it's
talking
the
about?
thing. See, you can't say that because you're talking on both sides of your neck. You was willing to die for the country.
No, I did not. I never went to war.
But what I'm saying is, if you had to, you would have went.
No, I wouldn't have.
BVO, when they had a
No, I wouldn't.
mandatory draft, bro, you don't have an option to do that. So it's like if you can disagree and still have to go. What do you think Muhammad Ali went through? The
I
man
know
stood on his
exactly what you're
principles and went to
saying,
jail
but
for it.
this is what I'm saying, man. And hear me out on this. I get it. I get the whole, they got the whole Black Lives Matter, all that stuff going on. I get it. At the end of the day, it does not benefit us to go against our own country that we helped build. I don't see the purpose in that. And that's why he's not in the league, because he did that.
So let me ask you this. Hold on, D Free. Hold on, D Free. So let me ask you this. If how's that going against, and if you decide that you don't want to stand for something that literally represents his own, why is there two national anthems? Why is there a Mason Dixon line? Why is there all these things? It's not about going against the country. The country been going against people that, even regardless of who helped them build it, that's been going against them. The country made that decision. The country had slavery and manifested that and evolved that from a physical labor of slavery to a systematic slavery system. So it's like
Let me ask
different
you this.
things, right? It ain't somebody that's going about it that way. It's just if you don't agree with something, you shouldn't be forced to do it.
Well, let
And
me ask you this.
you got to remember, at the time that he did it, it was when the police was having all these brutalities against blacks. It was all these black people getting killed or getting brutalized against from the police. That's when he did it. He said, "I want to stand up for my people, so I'm not standing for the national anthem because I don't believe in what they say. It's not
Man, you know
justice
why he
for
did it,
all.
man?
It's not justice for all because."
He didn't stand up for us, man. That's the thing you missing.
No, you
You
can say
watch.
he didn't. I'm telling you what the man said he did. I'm
I'm
going by
telling you.
what that man said.
This is what I'm saying. Just hear me out.
You
Hear
going
me
by
out.
what you think. I'm going by
No,
what he
listen. Hear
said.
me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. And that's what happened, man. They always try to overtalk the black man. What I'm trying to say is simple, man. It's just to speak to what A1's talking about. He's talking about systematic racism. You can say that. I get that. But why in 1966, before we had any laws passed, why did Dr. King say if things keep going so well, we'll have a president in 40 years? And if you fast forward it, 50 years later, we have a black president. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's not perfect, it's not the most, ideal situation. But dude, you gotta remember, man, our great grandfathers built this place, bro. We got a right to this place just as much as anybody else, man. There is no
I'm
minority
glad you
that
said
tell
that. I'm glad you said that because
there's
just
no
like you said,
minority. Hear me out. Let me hear me out. There's no minority on the face in this country in this country that could say they've contributed more directly to the prosperity and the growth of America as much as American blacks. We're the
okay,
only group of people who cannot be sent anywhere. This is our home.
and I'm
So
glad you
at the
said
end of the
that.
day, for him to sit on a flag that's pissing on my uncles, my cousins, anybody I know that's in the army that's fighting for his freedom to do that, that's him pissing in their face, man. And it's
No, I'm
whack,
gonna tell you
and I'm
that. I'm
glad he
glad.
out the
I'm
league
glad.
for that.
I'm glad you said that because
Go ahead.
at the same time, when you say that man, we contribute to it, to America and all that. That man has a right. If he doesn't believe in what the national anthem is, he do not have to stand for it. And we seen people in the NBA not stand for the national anthem. We seen people in the NFL after Colin Kaepernick not stand for the national anthem. Nothing happened to them. It only happened to Colin Kaepernick because he was the first one to do it. So it's okay for them to do it, but it wasn't okay for Colin
Nah,
Kaepernick to do it.
I think it's the fact that Colin made such a I don't want to say spectacle of it, but he made he made sure the demonstration was real
He made it
public.
stand.
Spectacle.
Like
That's what
when
he
you
did.
yeah,
He made
when
it
like when
stand.
you look at Beast Mode did not stand for the national anthem. What he would do, he would just go sit in the back on the bench and nobody would see him. But Colin would be out in the open kneeling. So I think that's why the NFL came down on him. And they didn't want him.
Listen, you can't always have it both ways. They asked Calvin Kaepernick to come in for a thing, and the first thing he do is give him his butt to kiss. He come in with a doggone Kunta Kinte shirt on while he getting a freaking job interview. Guess what, clown? In America, anywhere, if you're not pushing buttons, we all have a job to do. We all have to go by what the rules are.
And that's not
But
a rule.
D free, you know it, bro.
It's
You
not a
know
rule.
what he did was wrong.
It's not a rule. I don't care what you're saying. It's not
Yeah.
a rule. There's no
Let me
rule
say
that says
this,
you
D
have
Free.
to stand for the
Let me
national
say
anthem.
this. It's not. That's what people go into service for. That's why people fight these wars and do all this shit for the country. So you have the right to protest. It's a right. It's not a. It's not a privilege. It's a right that's in the Constitution. You have the right to protest. Now, on another note, the same note, these companies can run their company any way they want to. It's called capitalism. They have the freedom of choice to run their business as long as they're not breaking any federal laws, state laws, any way they want to. If they don't want you to kneel, and I'm signing a check and I'm telling you I don't want you to do this, and you do it anyway, then whatever comes to you, you got to accept that because these are the rules that I set in place because I own this shit. I run it. So nobody was wrong. It's just that the decisions that were made were in the best interest of the people who made the decision. They didn't give a fuck about the validity of his protest because his protest was valid. Niggas was getting
That
shot
definitely
down and
was bad.
killed for nothing in the streets. That's
It
what he was
was bad.
protesting.
And see,
That's what
that's
he was
what I'm
talking about.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
But
I'm
the
saying
decisions they made was in the best interest of their fan base because black people, the problem with us is we don't understand that we are only 14% of the population of this country.
that's it.
The biggest population that watches football is white folks. White folks had a problem with what he was doing. So them owners in that league was in the best interest of their bottom line. That's what that whole thing was about.
Exactly. He didn't, like I said, he didn't do anything wrong. He did with what he believed in. It wasn't justice for all. So he said, I'm not standing for it. It's not justice for all. And
You
I
know what?
agree with him.
You know what he did? You know what he did? He turned the movement. He turned our movement into a check. He ended up getting $90 million from Nike, doing the campaigns, going around the world, doing all these things. At the end of
I
the
ain't got
day,
no
man,
problem with that because the brother wasn't wrong. What he was
this
talking
is what I'm
about
saying. So
was
this is what
actually
I'm
happening.
saying.
The brother was
This,
right.
But
let me ask you
but
this.
Now,
but
that's the
not only that,
residuals of what he got.
he lost his career for that message. So I don't have a problem with him getting a check for it.
Y'all act like this nigga's Ali or something, bro.
Yeah, he
At
lost.
the end
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
day,
I've heard of Carlos Delgado.
I mean, he lost his career. Well, I mean, he got it even worse than Ali. Ali got to come back.
No, he didn't have it worse than Ali because Ali had the whole government trying to put him in prison. Nobody tried to lock this nigga up.
nobody had it worse. Nobody had it worse than Ali, bro.
Like I said, he didn't.
Nobody
He
tried
lost.
to lock this nigga up.
He lost his
That's
career
true.
Yeah.
for a stand
Yeah.
that he believed in. But shit, Martin Luther King lost his life for a stand that he believed in. So
Malcolm X lost his life for a stance he believed in.
right,
So this nigga's nowhere near none of those dudes. Ali, Malcolm X, he's nowhere near them. So don't even put him in the same conversation with them.
yeah, so
But
He's
this-
nowhere near them.
I was just talking.
You see how they
Yeah.
do that?
I was
though?
just talking.
You see how a football player, and we the only community that wants to put our sports stars in the same realm as our great heroes. How in the world could you put Colin Kaepernick up there with somebody like a Dr. King or a Malcolm X? Like that makes no sense. That's
But think about this. Think about this. That's to you. But think about this. Think about this, D Free. Think about this, BBO. How old are you?
33.
You 33. Okay. So the young people that's putting him in that category don't really know nothing about Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Ali because that was 30, 40 years before their time.
I mean, you got to pick.
This is the only example they got. So that's why they deify him like that.
You know what? Carlos Delgado was one that did that too.
Right. I remember.
Delgado did that. The Puerto Rican baseball player, and he's not in the Hall of Fame because of it.
I'll tell you who else did it that you probably don't know about. You probably don't remember him before your time. Roberto Clemente did the same fucking thing.
Yeah, and he was a big activist, and he did a lot for Puerto Rico. And he died. He died on a mission.
But like I said,
On a plane crash.
I'm gonna swing it back to football. But like I said, the whole thing is this man. They reached out to the Jets. We don't know if the Jets is going to accept it or not, or try him out or not. But they need a quarterback because Zach Wilson is not it. He lucked up.
How old is he, D Free? Is he like 38 now? How old's Colin?
Colin Kaepernick, he's got to be at least. He got to be at least 30, at least older, about 35 or older. He got to be at least 35.
And it's been close to 10 years since he started as a football player.
You gonna bring in a 35, 36-year-old dude who ain't played in like 10 years? Come on, man. Don't bring that dude in.
I mean,
you asking for the same shit that happened to Rodgers, man.
All I'm saying is he can't be no worse than Zach Wilson. He can't be no worse than Zach Wilson.
Hey, you can't talk shit about Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson won.
No,
and he scored the winning touchdown. And he got him down there for the winning touchdown. So you can't talk shit about Zach Wilson.
Actually, the defense and Garrett Wilson with a great catch won.
I ain't saying Zach Wilson didn't win. They're not gonna win the season with him. They're not gonna.
We don't know that. Because Zach got a little confidence right now. The team's kind of believing in him. If Zach can pull off this win Sunday against Dallas, Zach might have him a job.
No, he's not winning.
He ain't surviving that Dallas defense. But if he can, I do agree, Shelton. He just got to play mistake-free football. That Jets defense is lethal.
Super Bowl caliber. That defense,
yeah,
bro.
Jets already working on a trade for Brissett.
I'll tell you this, bro.
If Wilson were to falter, I like Brissett starting for that team with all that talent around him.
I don't know if y'all seen this, but did y'all see the Cowgirls just go in there and demolish? They look like they're ready to go to come out the NFC.
Now, let me ask D Free a question. D Free, is Dallas that good, or are the Giants that bad?
I don't know. That's a good question because I don't know. It could be a mixture of both. It could be a mixture of both because I didn't expect the Giants to go out there and lay an egg like they did. I didn't expect that. I expected the Dallas win, but I didn't expect the Giants to go out there and lay an egg like that.
I expected it. I expected it because that's Thomas's hometown.
Hey, what you didn't expect was for Dak. You didn't expect Dak to play mistake-free football. That's what you didn't expect.
He didn't have to do anything.
The defense got him the defense and special teams got him 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, man.
No, but you know, wait a minute, hold on. We all know, we've been watching them Cowboys. Even when the defense plays lights out, Dak will find a way to fuck it up. Am I lying?
No, the defense never played lights out like they did against the Giants this past Sunday night.
Nah, but Sheldon is right. Dak will find a way to throw a pick.
No, listen what
Fuck
I'm saying.
something.
Zach only threw the ball, I think, 13 times. He only threw the ball like 13 times.
That's all he had to.
But yeah, because they were already up by 14 points in the first quarter, D3.
Listen what I'm saying. Y'all not listening.
Okay, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
You do not have a mistake when you only throwing the ball 13 times. You can't. You're not going to have a mistake. Do you know what he had was the equivalent of one drive in the NFL this year? That's what he played a whole game was the equivalent of one drive. That's what he did. He played one drive.
So he kind of looked like so what you're saying is he kind of looked like the 86 Giants, huh?
He didn't have to do anything. If they can play that way, Dak Prescott would not throw an interception for the whole year.
But D3, you asked, is Dallas a Super Bowl caliber team? I definitely think that special teams and defense are.
For sure.
But I can't say that at this point because last year we saw with Dallas, it's like their highest highs were high, but their lows are really fucking low. Like I think they beat Minnesota 40-3 last year. Then they lost to Jacksonville the next game off Dak throwing a pick six in OT.
This is what
we got to see.
This is what we see every single year after week one. This is what we see. A team have a great win or a team have a bad loss, and people ready to put them to the Super Bowl or throw them in the trash. It's week one. It's week one.
Hey, look, you know the Raiders going to the Super Bowl this year, right? You saw us Sunday.
It's week one.
Hey, y'all at the top of the division, Sheldon. Why not?
Yeah, the top of the division. We're at the top of the division.
You know who's not going to the Super Bowl?
Who?
Seahawks.
Seahawks ain't going nowhere.
Yo, watch your mouth.
Man.
Hey, but I'll tell you this.
Gino turned into an egg, bro.
I'm not
throwing watch your mouth. It wasn't Gino's fault.
And I'm not throwing nobody away after. I'm not throwing nobody away after week one. I'm not crowning nobody after week one. I have to see by week 5, I can get a better understanding of how the league is going after week 5.
So you can't tell me though, D3, you wasn't screaming at the TV when the Skins was getting that win. You can't tell me you wasn't screaming at the TV when the Skins was winning.
Put on a
oh no, I was definitely. I did a live stream. I did the first half live stream. I had to do something the second half, so I cut my live short. But I did the first. I was going off in this joint. I was jumping up and down, and I was cussing at the screen and everything. I was going. I had both emotions going on, but at the same time, I'm gonna be emotional for. This is the reason why. This is the reason why I said I cannot have a favorite fighter because I know how I get when I have a favorite. That's why I said I don't have a favorite fighter. But
I thought Tio was your favorite.
Right.
No, that's BBO. That's BBO.
That's BBO, dude. Right there,
But yeah, that's the reason why I cannot have a favorite. But this is week one, and I'm gonna go down the scores. I'm gonna share my screen. Hold up, I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna show you the scores of week one.
You don't have to. we know who won and lost.
You don't have to.
Refresh my memory, D3.
Wait. He don't want to see the Rams. You don't want to see the Rams putting the foot in that ass. You don't want to see that.
No, I saw all 60 minutes.
Week one, Thursday night football, we saw the Lions upset the Chiefs 21-20, which was a great Thursday night game to start the season off. And then we seen the Commanders beat the Cardinals, who they should have beat them by a lot more than what they did, 20-16. Washington had a great drive at the end of that game for Sam Howell to run it in for a touchdown. He didn't play mistake free, but he did enough to win the game. I give him that. And then we saw the Falcons beat up on the Panthers 24-10. We saw the Cleveland Browns beat up on the Bengals 24-3. We saw the Jaguars pulled out a squeaker against the Colts 31-21. We saw Tampa Bay upset the Vikings.
Richardson balled out in week one in his debut.
Yeah, but he got hurt at the end though. He got hurt.
Yeah, he did. And we saw Tampa Bay upset the Vikings 20-17. We saw the Saints upset the Titans 16-15.
That's not an
That was a
upset.
good game.
I wouldn't call that up. Yeah, I wouldn't call
That
that
was a
upset.
good game. No, that was a good game.
And we saw the 49ers smash the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-7.
Beat
I
them
was
down.
shocked. I was actually trying to bet. I was actually trying to bet on the Steelers in that game. Thank God my app didn't come through. Shit.
No, we saw the Ravens beat up the Texans. But in this one, the Ravens lost their starting running back for the rest of the season. He tore his ACL. He's done for the season. He might be done for his career as well.
That's really unfortunate. That kid can't catch a break.
Who, J.K. Dobbins? Yeah, J.K. Dobbins. You stay hurt.
We saw the Packers beat up on the Bears, which I was surprised. I thought the Bears would play a lot better than what they did.
Hey, Jordan Love ain't that bad.
D Free Shelton. Green Bay won the trade. They won the
Jordan
fucking
Love ain't
trade.
that bad. He ain't that bad. Jordan Love ain't that bad, bro. He ain't that bad.
Yeah, buddy. And he gonna make that big bag after this season.
Well, Green Bay only
I mean, he
gets a
ain't that
second
bad.
round.
I mean, he's a good quarterback. Jordan Love is decent.
Green Bay only gets a second round pick. If Rodgers would have played 65% of the snaps, they would have got a first round. So they'll take the second round, I guess. But
I could live with a second round, especially if the guy I traded just got hurt. I could live with that.
Yeah. And then we got the Raiders who beat the Broncos in a close game, 17-16. We got the Eagles who beat the Patriots in a close game, 25-20. That was close. I thought New England was going to pull it out for a second. I thought New England
they had the ball.
D Free, you didn't want to see me, bro. Shit, I was in front of my TV sweating it out, my nigga. Because Mac Jones, he was marching down the field. It was 50 seconds left, bro.
Yeah, then we saw the Dolphins beat the Chargers in a close game.
Yes.
That was another good game. That was
a good game.
Great game.
Look, I'm gonna say this right quick before you finish. Detroit looked really good. They played fast. They played physical. They played mistake-free. They only had 3 penalties that whole game.
Yeah. Well, what I will say is Detroit won that game because the Chiefs had a wide receiver that couldn't catch a cold in a daggone winter when it's raining with no clothes on.
He wasn't the only one that was dropping. They dropped 8 passes in that game, so he wasn't the only one dropping passes.
But he dropped 4 of them by himself, and he
did.
Yeah, but and I give the Lions full credit. I think that they're gonna make some noise this season, but let's keep it a buck. If Chris Jones and Travis Kelce had played, they were not winning that game. I don't care what nobody say.
No, they wouldn't have won.
I don't know.
No, I don't think they would have won that game.
I don't know.
They only lost by 1 point, Shelton.
I'm gonna tell you.
I don't know. You got to see, because like I said, this is what I look at. They had 3 penalties the whole game. That tells me that's a well-coached team. They don't make mistakes.
I don't care about the penalties. What I care about is you had one wide receiver that got targeted 5 times. He dropped 4 of them. One of them was a tip that it went right through his hands. They caught it, ran it back for a touchdown. They lost by 1 point. You take away that touchdown, they don't lose the game.
Right, but
they don't lose the game.
If it was a 5th D-Free, we'd all be drunk.
Yeah,
see,
so
this motherfucker, listen. The motherfucker that caught that interception, ran it back is Branch. Branch is a number 1 pick out of Alabama. Look, all these dudes get paid. They get paid. They don't play for free. All these dudes get paid.
Listen, what I'm saying is, in that situation, he wouldn't have been looking at Tony. He would have been looking at Travis Kelce. He wouldn't have been looking at Tony. For sure. So that interception would have never happened because he wouldn't have been looking at him. It would have never happened.
We don't know that though. I'm not going. I can't do it though, D-Free. I'm not going to take credit away from Detroit until I see him play back.
I'm not taking credit away from him. What I'm telling you is we do know that it wouldn't have happened because if you don't throw that ball that direction, that interception doesn't happen.
Oh yeah. That's true.
So we know that it wouldn't happen because the interception would have never went that way.
Yeah, because
But
he never went that way with the football. He never went that way with the football. You're right.
right.
Well,
So
I'm gonna ask y'all a quick question before we go to the next thing. Did y'all see Tyreek Hill, man? He might be an
Hey, that
all-time
dude's a
great.
beast, man. That dude's a
Nah,
beast. He's a money.
Tyreek Hill,
he's
He
more than
might
a
be a
beast.
Hall of Fame.
Sheldon, he's a fucking goat. You got to
Shit.
put
Yeah,
him
he's
up
a
there
winner.
with all those all-time great receivers. That man
But
is a
this is what I do
one-play
know.
touchdown, Shelton.
But this is what I do know. There's nobody in the league that can cover that man one on one. You can't cover
No,
that man one on one.
Except
Nobody.
Sauce Gardner.
no, you got to
Nobody.
you got to drop the
Nobody.
safety.
Nobody.
Except
You
for
got to
Sauce
have a
Gardner.
safety on the top.
You can't.
the thing is with Tyreek is he's an elite wide receiver. He's in the top 5 every single year. The issue
Right.
with Tyreek is he's so small. He gets injured every year. He gets
Right.
injured. You're going to miss him a few games because he's so small for that position. He's going to get injured. It's going to come at some point because he's so small.
You know who he remind me of, D Free?
What's that?
He remind me of my man from Philly. What's my man name? Number 1. Number 10. Number 10.
D-Jack.
Deshaun Jackson.
D-Jack. Remind me of
Oh, he
D-Jack.
way better than
D-Jack
Jackson.
could not be
Man.
covered one-on-one, but D-Jack got hurt all the time because he was so small.
Yeah, he's so small.
But let me ask you guys.
I mean, it's like God gave them a gift, but their body just can't handle that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
Because
the thing about Tyreek, man, he does play a lot of games. It's not like he always on the gurney. He don't miss a lot of. He just get nicked a little bit, but he
missed the games that you need him in. He misses. He seems to get hurt, like D Free saying. He seems to get hurt in important games.
Yeah, at some point he's gonna it's gonna be at the time where you need to make a run for the play. You need to make a run for the playoffs, or you need to do something in the playoffs, and he's not going to be on the field because he's going to be injured.
But let me ask the panel a question. For the past couple of years, I think the consensus has been that the Buffalo Bills are a Super Bowl contender. After watching Miami's offense, watching New England's defense against the Eagles, and watching the Jets defense, do y'all think their window is still open at this point?
I said it before the season started. Before the season started that the Bills were going to be mediocre this year.
Yeah, I said
before the game last night.
I didn't have the Bills going to the Super Bowl. I actually had the Jets winning the division, but now that Aaron Rodgers is gone for the season, it's going to go to Miami.
Yeah,
I have the Bills. I said the Bills would not make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, Miami going to end up winning the division because they came close to winning the division last year. They came close to winning the division last year. They fell short because Tyreek Hill wasn't there. They fell short.
What y'all missing is this.
The problem with Buffalo is this: if that quarterback,
it's not
if that quarterback can be consistent, Buffalo got a shot. But that quarterback has never in his career been consistent, ever.
He never in his life has had a run game either, Sheldon. He needs some help.
You have a great game, and you have a shitty game. Great game. He's just like that. Great game, shitty game. Great game, shitty.
It's a one-man team in Buffalo.
Yeah,
he has no running game.
Yeah, and he plays a lot of hero ball. He plays hero ball a lot.
Yeah.
He's
I saw that, Thomas, man. Like he tried to. He didn't. What was it? He was running for like a second down, and 2 linebackers came and smashed him. This dude don't slide for nothing.
He did that last year too. Remember the game against Minnesota? He did that.
Yeah, he played like a running back or a tight end.
No,
well, he's 250 pounds, so you know.
Every game,
he's not a little guy. He's 250 pounds, so he plays like Brett Favre.
Yeah, but you got to remember also one of those plays where he got a touchdown. He was over the line of scrimmage, so they should have lost by more than what they lost by.
Yeah,
but I think as long as and this is my knowledge of the college rule. I can't speak to the pro rule, but as long as you have 1 foot on the line of scrimmage, it don't matter if the rest of your body is over it. You can still make a forward pass, but that's right.
Any part of your body that's
you have to
any part of your body.
You have to at least have your foot on the line of scrimmage. That's
if
my.
Your heel is still on the line of scrimmage. That pass is legal.
No, it is.
Your entire body has to be a pass
behind the line of scrimmage. You cannot make that pass on. You can't be standing on the line of scrimmage and your other foot is in front of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you can in the NFL. You can, D-Free.
Let me look up the rule and just end this shit.
The rule is right. You said it right the first time. As long as any piece of your body is behind the line of scrimmage, is good. You can have 99% of your body over the line of scrimmage. If you got 1% behind it, that the pass is good. That's the rule.
Facts. That's the rule.
That's the rule.
That's the rule.
It's a stupid rule, but it's the rule.
Just like the tuck rule was a stupid rule that robbed us out of a Super Bowl. But I digress.
I understand what y'all keep doing. I see what Thomas keep doing. He keep bringing up conversation, so I won't go to this next game. 30-13, the Rams smashed the
It's hot. I'm fucking thirsty as shit.
Did Cooper Kupp even play?
No,
he's out. He's on IR, bro. He won't be back till week 11.
Oh my Lord, that's terrible, Thomas.
They didn't have their number one receiver and pretty much the only player on the team. They didn't have him, and they still won that game 30-13.
They still got Aaron Donald now. I wouldn't call Aaron Donald not a player now.
Well, Seattle lost both their tackles in the game, so their line was messed up. And guess what? Who they signed today? They signed Jason Peters, who's like 85 years old.
They signed Jason Peters. He like
done, man. He ain't got no more legs.
He gets to be like 45 or something, right?
Oh my God, he gonna tear his fucking Achilles on the first play, bro. Stop that.
But guess what? You know what surprised me? D-Free? I was watching the game Sunday night, and I saw number 77 for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm like, oh, Tyron Smith is back. I thought his career was over.
It should be. It should be. That man's career definitely should be over. Just like Peters. Peters' career should be over. And like I said,
Tyron Smith is a monster. If he's healthy, if Tyron Smith is back, that old line is straight because Tyron Smith is a dog.
Which lead me right into the next game, the Sunday nighter, which we saw Dallas beat the snot out of daggone the Giants Cowboys 40-0. Like I said, Dak Prescott threw for 143 yards. He didn't do anything. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to do nothing. We saw Tony Pollard carry the ball 14 times for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Who was on my fantasy squad? We saw CeeDee Lamb had 4 catches for 77 yards. They didn't. The defense and the running game did everything. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't. When I say Dak Prescott could have sit on the bench and they still would have beat him 40-0 because he didn't have to do anything.
That's why it's called a team game, though, D-Free. It's a whole team. One person can't do it by themselves.
No,
we saw that. We saw that in the playoffs last year.
No, what I'm saying is he didn't have to do anything. He could have sat on the bench. He didn't have to do nothing.
That's good. That's what you want for your quarterback. You don't want your quarterback to have to do too much. Because your quarterback touches the ball on every play. So you don't want him to have to do too much.
You could have had Cooper Rush out there. Cooper Rush would have threw for 143 yards, and they still
Yeah. Facts. Look, ain't that the secret? Listen, ain't that the secret to the Eagles' success? They don't ask Jalen Hurts to do way more than he can do. They don't ask him to do much. Just don't fuck it up.
You almost fucked it up.
Just don't fuck it up, Jalen. That's all we want you to do. Keep running the ball. Throw the pass here and there. If it's not there, throw it away. Don't lose the football. Don't fuck it up.
Exactly. And that's what he do. He don't make fucking dumb mistakes, bro.
That's it.
Monday Night Football. The Bills get upset. Well, I ain't gonna say upset because I figured the Jets was going to win this game outright. 22-16. We saw Josh Allen throw 236 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. That's what cost him the game.
And the fumble. That fumble was what killed him. That fumble was what killed him.
That fumble too, because the Jets had just scored, and they was driving to take the lead back, and they fumbled the ball, and the Jets was able to put up another field goal to tie the game. They put up another field goal
this game too. That's crazy.
Yeah. So you can't have a quarterback that throw 3 interceptions in a close game and expect to win. It just can't happen. And like I said, I didn't expect the Bills to win the division anyway. I had Jets winning the division, but now that Aaron Rodgers is down, I think I'm gonna have to lean towards Miami winning the division because Miami look like the more complete team. They have a running game, they have receivers, and they have a good defense. The Bills is not out of it. It's only week one. Like I said, I'm not going to take too much into it. But if Josh Allen keep having the same mistakes as he had in week one, they're not going to be having Josh Allen as the starting quarterback for long.
They gonna start Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod is in.
Oh, Tyrod with the Giants. That's right. He with the Giants.
Yeah, he with the Giants. Yeah, he with the Giants. He with the Giants.
Yeah, the Jets would have went after Tyrod, but the Giants is not trying to trade to the Jets.
Yeah,
because that was another guy of interest.
I mean, after what I saw Sunday night, I wouldn't try to trade Tyrod neither. He might be my starter at some point. That game was horrible. That was a horrible.
Hey, was it me?
But you paying that man about $45 million a year, D Free. So what you gonna do?
They got
was that tripping? Let me ask you this: was I tripping, or did Daniel Jones want out of that football game?
He wanted out. He wanted out of that game. He was looking like Eli Manning. He was looking like Eli Manning was looking when he know that he ain't got no chance of winning. That's how he was looking.
He wanted out. He gave up.
This is what you got. This is what y'all got to understand. Every single football game, for the most part, you could take some good and you could take some bad. That game we saw Sunday night, there is no good for the Giants Cowboys.
No,
there's nothing they did that was good in that game. Like I said, they had one good drive where they drive across the field and they were about to get a field goal, and then they get the field goal blocked and they run it back for a touchdown. So there's no good.
That was the most Giants play of all time, my nigga. I saw it coming too. I knew they were going to turn the ball over on their first possession, D3.
At first, what I first thought, because Giants got the ball first, what I first thought was Giants was about to run this ball down Dallas' throat. They was running heavy. It was Daniel Dimes running the ball. It was Saquon Barkley running the ball. That's all they did for the first 8 plays was all runs. It was like Daniel Dimes would drop back and then he'd take off and run. And then he'd step back and hand the ball off to Saquon. He'd step back, hand the ball to Saquon. He'd step back, act like he was going to throw, take off and run. I'm like, okay, they about to run the ball down Dallas' throat. And then the field goal get blocked. And the whole scenery changed. It was all Dallas from that point on. Giants had no more success for the rest of the game. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with the Giants Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Giants and the Dallas, like I said, I can't really take too much from it because the Giants didn't do anything. Now I can see if the Giants was playing and Dallas really had to dig deep and pull out a win, but the Giants didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing at all. So,
and I'm not gonna go as far as to say that even though I expected that game to go how it did, I'm not gonna go as far as to say that the Giants are trash or they ain't gonna make the playoffs because they added some decent weapons to that team and they added some good young players to that line this season, like John Michael Schmidt, the center, and they got the kid Jalen Hyatt and Darren Waller. So at some point this year, they're gonna take off. You have to with a coordinator with a play caller like Brian Daboll running that ship.
So you think? So what you saying is that the game just snowballed on them. It just one bad thing happened, and something else happened, and something else happened. It just snowballed.
Yeah. And then eventually, guys didn't want to play no more, and it was over with.
Yeah.
I mean, what another thing that I saw in that game, as well as far as the Giants after that first drive, they didn't do anything. Another thing that I saw was the coaching staff didn't make no adjustments. They didn't make no adjustments. They just said, okay, it's out of our hand. We just gonna go with it. We just gonna go with it. They didn't try to do no different plays. They didn't try to switch up the defense and switch some things around. They didn't make no adjustments. Dog, it got so bad that I fell asleep at the third quarter.
What I thought was that
it was celebrating that the game was over when I woke up and it was 40-0. I was like, Oh, I didn't miss anything. It's 40-0. I ain't missed nothing. I just went and looked at my fantasy squad. I said, let me see what my fantasy players did. I don't care about the game. Let me see
But what
my
I
fantasy
saw
players
was
did.
this, D Free. What I saw was they had no answer for D Law and they had no answer for number 11, the linebacker.
Michael Parsons.
Yeah, Parsons. They had no answer for him. They linemen. They had the starting lineman that they had could not block those dudes. And once they figured that part out, there was nothing they could really do.
Yeah,
They was playing the run excellent.
I agree exactly what
They couldn't throw the ball. They had no time. Daniel Jones was running for his life all night. It was just over. We got to start bringing in backs and receivers. Somebody got to chip these dudes. We got to do something. But we're not going to try to do it tonight.
I agree with Big Tech said right there. The defense really won. The offenses around the league pretty much struggled. All offense in the whole league pretty much struggled.
Except for San Francisco.
I was telling I was talking to Q earlier.
They didn't struggle.
Yeah, the San Francisco, they didn't struggle.
No, but the top 5 elite quarterbacks, all of them struggled this week. Mahomes, Josh Allen, Burrow, Hurts, Rodgers got hurt. Lamar Jackson had a mediocre game. Everybody was struggling in week 1. So I'm not putting too much into this, man.
And Joe Burrow played like pure dog shit. He played like dog shit.
That was
what he always do in week 1, Sheldon. He threw like 3 or 4 interceptions in week 1 last year. I ain't even worried about it.
What I will say is that was surprising for Lamar Jackson because usually week 1 Lamar Jackson come out and ball. He
come out and shine. Yeah, but you know who did shine? You know who did shine, and people ain't talking about it? Was motherfucking Tua, bro.
Who?
Motherfucking Tua. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Y'all say y'all
Wild, Tyreek Hill, Tua. That's man. If they can make it to the promised land, they gonna talk about that offense for a long time, Sheldon.
And you see what he said, right? He said, "Okay, so go get this motherfucker 216 guaranteed." All right, watch what I do to his punk ass.
So what I will say is, daggone Minnesota needs to develop another wide receiver because Justin Jefferson, we know he is legit a number 1. But who else do you got? Who else do you got? Because they lost their running back.
I tell you what they need.
That's why they drafted Jordan Addison though, and they got T.J. Hawkinson last season.
What they need, D3, is a fucking defense. They can't stop nobody.
Yes.
Minnesota don't have no defense.
No, Minnesota haven't had a defense since the early 2000s. That's the last time Minnesota had a defense.
They let go of one of their premier pass rushers. They let him go to Cleveland. What's his name? Zadarius Smith. Dude had 11-10 sacks for them last year. You're trying to build something around Justin Jefferson and this team. Why would you let him go?
I mean, they might ain't have the money to pay him because they knew at some point they got to pay Justin Jefferson. They know
have to pay him.
They know at some point they got to pay that man. They just gave Kirk Cousins.
You damn sure got to pay him, bro.
They just gave Kirk Cousins.
You can't let talent like that walk out of your building ever.
Because I believe they gave Kirk Cousins an extension. I believe they gave him an extension. So
they picked up the option on his contract. That's what they did. They picked up the option. He had an option where he would give like $30 million, or they could buy him out. They picked up the option. Yeah. They figured that he was the best option they had at quarterback.
So they didn't have the money to pay him because I think he probably was going to demand somewhere around $15 to $20 million a year.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson was the offensive rookie of the year last year, wasn't he?
No, I'm talking about the defensive lineman. I'm saying the defensive lineman.
Oh yeah. That defensive lineman. He wanted at least 10, 15 million. Yeah, he wanted Chris Jones type money.
If you're a double-digit sacks guy, you want at least that. But my thing is, if you're trying to build towards something, I don't ever want to let impact players leave.
Hey, let me ask you this.
That's life sometimes in football.
Let me ask you guys this. Why y'all think Chris Jones came back to camp?
Then y'all give him some money?
They gave him like an extra million. They gave him like 13 million. It's not like they gave him a whole shitload of money.
Y'all give him some more money. That's what it was all about.
But they wait, hold on. But they didn't extend him. They just added more money
No,
to
they
his
gave him a
1 year.
1 year deal. He signed a 1 year deal.
Who that? Who you talking about?
Chris
Chris,
So
Jones.
Chris
it's a what?
Jones,
It's a
Kansas City.
1 year extension.
Yeah.
1 year deal. You got a
Okay.
whole new
Well,
deal, 1 year.
A 1 year deal. You got a 1 year deal. I mean, because when you sitting out, you're not getting paid anything. You're not getting paid nothing. You sit out, you ain't getting paid nothing.
Yeah, but he
So
still got the millions off that signing bonus and all that money he made last year. So he's not
no,
like he's hurting for cash. I'm
it's
saying,
not
do
that.
you guys think that maybe Pat gave him a call like, hey, man, look, check it out. I need you, bro.
I wouldn't give a
I
fuck
need you,
what
bro.
Pat called me to do. I done already gave you 2 Super Bowls. I want to get Aaron Donald money, motherfucker. Don't play with me.
No, no, my whole thing is, yeah, you got money from your signing bonus and all that stuff, but
Right.
we don't know what bills that man got. The
Yeah,
more money you make,
he might
the
have
more money
tricking
you make,
bills
the
that's
more
high.
bills you make. The
He
more
might
money you
have a
make,
high ass
the more
tricking
bills
bill,
you
huh, G Free? His
make. Hey,
tricking
yeah.
bill might be high.
Hey, I don't know. Like I said, the more money you make, the bigger your bills get. So, yeah, we understand he got paid, but that's why a lot of these motherfuckers they don't leave. They keep playing because they got some type of money. If they ain't got no TV
Yeah, you
deal,
gotta pay for them. You gotta pay for them hoes some kind of way, man. You right. You gotta pay for them bitches.
That's true.
if they ain't got
Uh-huh.
no TV deal, they sit there. Okay, if they ain't invest their money the right way, eventually that money gonna run
When he
out.
get that Aaron Donald contract, he gonna just dedicate a percentage of that to them hoes, Shelton. And you ain't gotta even worry about that shit.
I don't know. I know they need to cut down on some of them bills, whatever it is. You need to cut down on some of them. I don't know if
But
you got to turn the lights off and use your candles. I don't know what you got to do, but you got to cut
but
down
yeah,
on
D free. If I'm Chris Jones, yeah, I'm not coming back to camp unless you get at least near $30 million a year. No fucking way. I'm not coming back because it's a team out there that's gonna pay him that.
I'm telling you, obviously, I can tell you this: he must not either him or his agent must not have seen nothing better on the table for him. Because if you say another team would have gave him 40 million, he would have took. I believe he would have took that 40 million for 1 year. So obviously there must not have been another team that was looking for him, and he must not have had that offer. So that might have been the best offer that he came across, and he was like, okay, they giving me the most money. I'm gonna go ahead and sign back with him for 1 year and see if I can get a better contract the following year. Because unless they just say, you know what, I don't want to play for another team. This is the only team I want to play for. That's the only other way I could see him signing for the 13 million for 1 year. Either there was no other options on the table, or he said, I don't want to play for another team. This is the only team I want to play for. Those are the only options I believe that's available.
Wait, so question: did he sign that 1 year deal after the Super Bowl?
No, I think he signed it recently.
Because I thought that was I thought that he already had another contract and that this was just the last year on that shit.
I think he just recently signed that, maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, then that's weird. Why would you be sitting out if you just signed a contract?
As I said, I think he might have just signed that contract. I'm not sure. I have to look it up. I think he just signed that contract a couple of weeks ago. But yeah,
That's weird.
it
Yeah,
was
I don't know.
definitely some surprise games this week, like I expected. I said we want to see some teams that's going to do better, and some teams that we thought was going to do good, not going to do not so good. So it's just what I expected.
We
And
know.
this,
We know.
hey, how did Gino play? I
I thought
understand
Gino did all
y'all.
right. I
Oh
was
yeah,
very
D.
was
Oh
upset with
my bad. Hold on, right quick. I just wanted to say, D. Free, you're right. He just signed a 1 year, $25 million deal.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's what I say.
I
I
guess
know
all
it
that
wasn't.
shit worked out.
Yeah, I know it wasn't. It wasn't. He didn't been have it. As I say, I think he just signed that. But
Yeah. So 1 year, 25. Yeah, he gonna be on
that's
that
not bad.
field. He gonna play.
Yeah, that's not bad. 1 year, 25. That's not bad. Yeah,
What you was
that's not.
saying, Thomas? My bad for cutting you off, man.
No, I'm saying I thought Gino did okay, but for the first half, the play calling, I was very upset with. You know, they were getting it to third and short, and then they were just doing like really bad plays on third down. Like, it's not like it was third and long. There was a lot of cases third and 3, maybe third and 4, throwing like 30-yard pass plays. Like it's just there was no rhythm in the
So
offense. Like in the
do
first
you
half, it
believe
was good.
do you
Hmm?
believe it was more so your play calling or was it your defense let you down?
Well, the defense definitely let me down, but it was for the offense. The play because with the talent we got, it was more the play calling, and then we lost our tackles, and they just ate us up. Like he had no time. They didn't get. They only got maybe one first down the entire second half. And mind you, Seattle was up 13-7 at the half. They
Yeah,
didn't
it
score the
was.
entire second half. So there were chances for them to score in the first half. Lockett got popped. He had a concussion. Um, but the defense very disappointed me. They were moving the ball like nothing. No pressure on Stafford. Stafford had all day, and they picked us apart. So,
Yeah.
and the
So
defense was supposed to be better. We lost. We don't have a few players playing. So like our rookie didn't play, Witherspoon. Brooks didn't play. Jamal Adams didn't play. We're missing guys. Julian Love still
the,
sucks. You
Y'all
know.
lost that Jamal Adams deal, man. I want you to know that, Tommy. Y'all lost that Jamal
Oh,
Adams.
I know that. I know that. And we gave him more money too after that first year.
yeah.
So he had a
Hey,
Pro Bowl year
So
that first year.
now that the Rams have fixed their offensive line, are they back into it? When we talk about like contenders for the NFC,
uh the
I don't think
AFC, I mean the NFC. No, no.
no. I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
think I don't
the,
think the
the,
Rams can compete with the 49ers.
nah, they can't compete. The Rams are not a good team. Like the defensive looked good because our offensive line was terrible. Like I'm telling you, you watch the second half, there was no time, and that's because we lost both tackles. That's crazy. Like you lose not one but both of them.
Yeah.
wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think the Rams. I mean, they had success with the Seahawks, but like you said, they lost both their tackles. So when you replacing both your starting offensive line like that, you're gonna have problems. You got people that's not in sync with each other. Gonna be missed blocks, missed assignments. So you're gonna have
Okay,
problems.
I can't hold that against y'all, Thomas. If I lose my two tackles, I'll be praying on my fucking knees we win that game.
yeah.
Shit,
But
Yeah,
that's why I said the
that's a
play calling.
nightmare.
to
The
be
play
honest,
calling has to be better.
they still
Yo,
had a
that was
chance.
crazy.
Yeah,
They still had a chance to
That was
win the
crazy.
game. That's
yeah.
the crazy part
But
about it.
that's why I'm
They-
upset. I'm upset because they didn't show no heart, and then Gino said that at the end of the game. Which is crazy. You don't want your captain or quarterback to say this, but he said that it looked like the Rams wanted to win more than Seattle did. Our guys didn't want to play, so and
yeah,
that's not a good look.
and the bad thing about it is they still had a chance to win the game. They only lost. I mean, they lost. And the score doesn't show that they lost by. I mean, it wasn't close, but they still had a chance to win. It just they couldn't capitalize when they was in short yardage. They couldn't
Yep, third
capitalize.
down.
Yeah,
They
they
couldn't
couldn't
do it.
capitalize on it. So I
No
mean,
rhythm.
when your offense is constantly coming right back off the field and you trot your defense out there, your defense can only hold for so long,
Yeah.
and then eventually they're going to break down, and it's going to be big play after big play because your defense is tired. They can't keep up with the offense because the offense, for some reason, I never understood why. I mean, when I was younger, I didn't understand. I knew as I got older why the defense is always much tighter than the offense. Is because the defense is using more energy to think and try to figure out what the offense is doing. When the offense, they know what they're doing, so the players are not playing as hard as you think they playing because they know the ball is not going to them. But when the defense is trying to mentally figure out what they're doing, that drains your energy as well. You're trying to figure out what they're about to do, and so it slows your defense down. So when you trot your defense out there, you're gonna have problems where your defense is going to break down. They're going to give up a big play because they're tired. They've been on the field too long. They're tired. You got to give those big guys up front some time to rest because
Yeah.
they're not going to be able to get at the quarterback as much because the defensive line like getting at the quarterback. The offensive line like running the ball. So when you got a good run, that's why the offensive line loves to run the ball because now they get to beat up on the defense. When they in pass block, the defensive line is beating up on the offense because they going back and trying to keep them back from getting to the quarterback. But when they doing a run block, now they going downhill. They ain't got to worry about being across the line of scrimmage before the ball is thrown. They can actually go down and hit somebody and then get to the second tier of the defense and hit those linebackers. So that's why they love to run the ball. What's going on, 88? I was just telling everybody they pick him for the week. 88 had a hell of a comeback because he started off 3-0. 0-3. The first 3 games he lost, and then he went on a 5-game winning streak. So me and you tied for second place in the pick'em this year. So far, we tied for second place. We both ended with 5-3. A1 and K Savoy led the week 1 at 6-2, and G5 and BBO they tied for third place at 4-4. And like I said, Coach Joe, Thomas, and T they're in last place right now at 3-5. Hey, but this is what I was going to ask y'all before I get out of here. This Thursday night game, this is going to be a doozy. This might be a trap game for the Eagles because the Vikings went out there and laid an egg against who they played again? Oh, damn, I just missed it. Who the fuck the Vikings played again? Because I didn't even put it on our pick.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, yeah. They laid an egg against Tampa Bay. Now they're going out there, they're playing against the Eagles, and the Eagles had a tough win against New England. And me personally, I don't think New England's offense is as good as the Vikings' offense. I don't think their offense is as good. Now they have a better coach, but I don't think their offense is better. So this could be a game that can go either way. I want to put it in my pick'em, but I'm doing my pick'em on Saturday, and this is a Thursday night game. I should have did it. I should have changed my pick'em to Tuesdays when I do the recap of week 1 of the NFL week. I should do my pick'ems on Tuesdays. That way I can get the Thursday night games in when it's a good game. But we're not going to have.
I think the Eagles should dominate this game. I think the Eagles they had their trap game. Like everybody thought, the Patriots was a team that they would dominate, and they struggled. So I think they got by the trap game. They got that home opener, against a Minnesota team that didn't look good.
I don't know if they got. I don't know if they got past their trap game because depending on what happened in week 2, that daggone Giants might be a trap game for the Eagles. Depending on how the Giants how the Giants look in week 2. If Giants if they look like this in week 2, the same as they looked in week 1, this could very well be that could be a trap game when the Eagles play against the Giants. I know we got the Eagles in week 4, I think. Yeah, week 4 we got the Eagles because we got.
Speaking of trap, I should have invited Brian Corbin to the Seahawks bar. So when the Rams beat us, we could have jumped them.
Yeah, we got Denver this week, and then we got the Bills next week, and then we got the Eagles. So we got if we get past the Broncos, and then we find a way to win against the Bills. Hey, it could be 2 undefeated teams meeting up in week 4. Could be 2 undefeated teams meeting up in week 4. But I'm about to go ahead and end this, and I appreciate all my peoples coming out. My man Thomas, BBO, A1, K Savoy, Maki Dan, Shelton Moore, my man 88, BC, Big Tex, Quee, everybody that came through from Thomas live stream, Mo Boxing, Mark Nash, Timber, and Kiara. Who else came through? Angel Diaz, Anthony Bolton. I appreciate everybody coming through. We will be back at it again Saturday for our pick'ems, and I will see y'all on the next one. It's your boy D Free.
Go Hawks, maybe.